Hello, and welcome to What's Your Story? I'm your host today, Sharita Williams, and today my guest is going to be Howard Grover. Howard is a health coach, and he's going to be talking about us. He's going to be talking to us about his organization. Today, our guest is Howard Glover, and let's welcome Howard to the podcast.
Welcome. Thank you for having me. WYTV7. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be able to share my story, a little bit about what I do, where I come from, and just, how I got started into what I'm doing, and just being able to be a blessing to the community, the families and youth, you name it. I'm grateful. Thank you.
So Howard, tell us where the name of your nonprofit came from. Where did that name come from? And tell us what that name means to you.
Yes. Hard Grinders originated from Howard Glover, HG. Back in 2017, I had a situation where I had to leave an organization, and I laid before the Lord and, said, okay, Father God, you brought me to Charlotte. I had ran my program with another organization, and they kind of, changed up on me. So I laid before the Lord and said, okay, God, you brought me here. What are you bringing me here for? And he spoke to me clearly. It was like, I didn't expect you to go and partner with anybody. I wanted you to be your own individual. And I'm like, okay, what you mean? I always thought I would be with the organization, a church, or somebody like that. And it was like, okay, Father God, well, then show me what I need to do. So I reached out to my brother, my best friend, Andrew Glover. You got to give him a shout out. Y'all know him. I love my man. And I was like, okay, give me a name. That's where I started. I started with the HG. He was like, play off your name, HG. And it was like, Hard Grinders. I'm from the inner city of Toledo, Ohio. And that's all I know is the grind, getting up, getting after it. I remember walking to practice, going to school. We walked blocks, walking home from practice. It just was a grind each and every day, never quitting. So I knew that I was a hard grinder way back then, and that's where the name originated from. And I'm like, it just pops. You get what I'm saying? I think a lot of people can relate with hard grinders, especially coming from the inner city and just growing up, learning how to grind. It's a grind every day in the city where I'm from. So that's where my name came from, and I've been just rocking it. I love it.
All right. So Howard, tell us a little bit about coaching. So what inspired you to become a coach?
Yes. Well, I got a bachelor's degree in education. I went to college. I've always played sports all the way like the fifth grade. I used to play for the local Pee Wee team, and, we would win and different things like that. And sports just became something that I needed to do. It was my outlet. It was my way to be able to have an asset or something, to stay out of trouble. Many of the people in the neighborhood will be playing basketball or doing different things like that. And they always will be like, staying to your sports, like, the older people. So that's what I did. It was my ticket to get a degree. So what got me into coaching, it was like I would think freshman year where I knew I was going to be a teacher, or I was thinking about being a marketing major as well. Something I can speak, communication and different things like that. Because I always like to talk, as you can see. And I got into sports, and I knew it was time to give back. I became that product from the inner city that had made the step to come up above. And you know what I mean? And I knew I needed to give back. I can be relatable to the youth, relatable to, people in the community, and that's what I knew, and I ran with it.
Howard, we know that you can relate, and we can feel the bubbliness of your personality, and we can see the zealotness of the Lord in you. But yeah. Okay, you moved here in Charlotte, and then all of a sudden now we're faced with a pandemic. We know that this is a season that God has for us.
That's right.
So we have to endure the season. So tell us how the impact of COVID-19 has affected your business during this time. Did it discourage you during this time? You came here, you say, what does God have for me? So you get here and you impacted with this pandemic. What did it do to you mentally, and what does it do to your business? How did that affect you overall?
Well, as a man of God, I mean, God didn't give me the spirit of fear. You understand? So I knew it was something that I just would lay before the Lord and be around my family and my team, and start to be creative. I think this was the time. I was reading Mark 13, and the signs of the times, and he was talking to his disciples and different things like that. And the disciples was like, is this the signs? You know, what is the signs of the times? And as I started to research and break this down in Mark 13, this was a new season of change. He says these things had to come, earthquakes in diverse places and different things of that. They had to come so that I can create a new thing. So that inspired me. And my business has been taking off. To be honest with you, as a fitness coach, certified personal trainer, as well as a health and wellness, I'm a director at a center, as a health and wellness center. Okay, and it had to close down. We still was working, but I started to be able to get more clients because many of the Planet Fitnesses and other fitness places shut down. So people started to look for ways of how to work out. And independent contractors like myself that had their own business, it shot up. You know, I got a few Zoom clients during this time. I also got a few clients that wanted to meet in person so we can go to the park and start working out and doing different things like that. I teach cardio boxing fitness, which is rare, which burns up to about 800 to 1,000 calories when I get you to that level, and I'm gonna cut you real good. So mentally, it didn't do too much to me because I'm just not that guy. I'm a forward mover. You feel me? I'm pressing towards the mark. And I understood that. So I got into my prayer closet and started to get my pen and pad and started to plan about what can I do, different organizations I needed to reach out to, partnerships and different things like that. And business has been good. I can't complain. And what I don't want to do is always never get ahead of God. You get what I'm saying? So he gonna give you much is given, much is right. He gonna give you just a little bit that you can manage and balance and do well with that. Be a good steward of the people that you're working with. And now I'm up to the place where different nonprofits are asking me to come out and kind of plan because many of their youth are working remotely, but they're not doing anything physically fit or being able to get outside. So I'm coming in and partner with them.
Right. So Howard, tell me how you are being safe when you meet with your clients. Now, I know you say you have a Zoom, and then we need to get your email address and your website, but tell us how you can be safe during this pandemic when you're working out, and do you guys wear masks? Because This is very important to wear your mask during this pandemic. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right, we do wear our masks, but I'm okay with, I have to be honest with you, the social distance and working out, taking it off when need be. A lot of things with my programming, I teach archery. I'm a Team USA archery instructor, so it is already a social distancing program where I can distance the targets, I can distance the people spread far, far apart to be able to have them do something physically fit, which is archery. On the physical side, a lot of times I'm coaching these young people, and then I'm also coaching my clients, which are adults as well as men, women, and you name it. I'm kind of overseeing them and showing them and demoing things, and then I let them go through it. So I'll kind of stand back away from the cones, which you will see that on my social media platforms and different things like that on my website as well. But it's all about safety, to be honest with you. Another thing that I do that I like to mention, because I think a lot of people don't do, is I do a lot of steam treatments, meaning I do it once a week, because I am out in the public. So I do some steam treatments to really kill a virus because, at temperatures, viruses stay in, because it's cold up in your nostrils and different things. So I try to, do some steam treatments to help me out.
So Howard, tell our listeners at WYTV7, tell our listeners how they can get in contact with you. Give them your webpage. Tell them how that they can get in contact with you. And I know you talk about the youth, but is your program for more than the youth? Is it for all people, or do you just specialize with the youth?
Okay, well, you can reach me at www.hardgrinders.com. I'm also on Google as Hard Grinders. I'm also on Yelp as Hard Grinders. But yes, it's for everybody. That's the whole focus. It's for the families. It's for the community. What archery does, and this is just the DYP project, and the DYP project stands for Diverse Youth Programming Project, which bringing non-traditional sports to the urban community as well as a diverse community. And it's for all walks of life, giving the people an opportunity to be able to experience and expose to something that they really normally never do is what it's about. But it also works on so many other things, mental focus, self-confidence. You get what I'm saying? And these things are we need. We want our students and our families to be patient, but do we give them the opportunity to really work that skill? And it's something that's needed to be worked, because sometimes we're not as patient as we need to be. But I'm specific in what I want them to learn. And being specific with the families, the communities, and the youth is saying this is a process where you need to slow down. I need you to be who you are. Don't change. I like it. I'm a little excited too. But when you have the opportunity to be able to add a dimension, slow down. And now I'm going to tell you, this is going to slow you down and how you go about doing it. Once you come to an archery program or a DYP project program, it brings that unity and trust there too as well.
So Howard, during this pandemic, so many people have been affected with mental health. So can you correlate or tell us how exercising can help de-stress you or help with your mental health?
Yes. Okay, we all are bogged down in the house, to be honest with you. And it's mundane, I'm going to be honest with you. It's getting on our nerves, to be all the way honest with you. But being able to get active is going to release your stress. You have to change up your routine. You can't tell me that you're going to be sitting on the couch or at the computer all day, never leaving the house. You know, you may go grocery shopping or different things of that nature, but you need to get out and do something physically fit. You need to go out and do something fun, something different. And when you have programs like myself, you can do that with the Hard Grinders. You can be able to get out and work. If you need help, make sure you reach out, www.hardgrinders.com, and subscribe to my website. Let me get your information and help you along the way, because that's what it's about. We can do Zoom. If you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, we can come in person, you name it. I tell you what, we have to be able to work our mental game. And working a mental game is you can't continue to do the consistent and the same thing you've been doing on a regular basis. You have to change it up, and that's getting out, walking, running, being able to do something fun with the family, not just yourself, but with the family as well. It's very important to your mental health. You can sit in the four walls of your house 24/7, it'll have you shaking.
Yes, it will. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back. We'll continue with What's Your Story after this commercial break.
Hello, my name is Howard Glover. I am the owner and founder of hardgrinders.com. And I would like to just introduce myself and tell you a little bit about what I have going on. You can please follow me at www.hardgrinders.com. I'm a fitness instructor, certified, as well as an archery instructor, and I have youth programming and mentoring for after-school programs and summer programs. Please get to know me a little bit better at www.hardgrinders.com, and I look forward to seeing you.
Okay, we're back with Howard Glover of Hard Grinders. He's a nonprofit for diversity inclusion. So Howard, tell us a little bit about your program for the people who are just joining. What's your story? Can you just do a brief snap of what your organization stands for?
Hard Grinders pretty much stands for recreational sports for the diverse community of Charlotte, being able to expose our families, our communities to things that normally we don't do. A lot of us don't like to swim. A lot of us don't like to do things, hiking and get outdoors because of the bugs and whatnot. But I tell you what, it's definitely going to reduce your mental stress. And those are the things that we need to start to get acclimated to. So that's just a little bit about, I have 3 components within the Hard Grinders, which is my fitness. I'm a certified personal trainer. I also am a Team USA archery instructor, and I teach environmental education to youth, families, and the community. And I also have a mentor program, which deals with the youth and football, but also we're building character building as well as bridging that gap in relationships in the home. I have a virtual platform that I put on where we are talking about how can we live together, especially in this COVID time. Many of us in a diverse community, we barely speak to one another. We pass each other, but we need to say, how can we start to empower and pour into one another so that we can coexist in the home? So I do a lot of different things.
So WYTV7 has collaborated with Howard during this pandemic. He has been one of our sponsors. He gave a donation to our program we're running right now, Feed the Fireman. And if you would like to give a donation to Feed Your Fireman, we have an e-card. And to give a donation, you go to WYTV7.org. We are it is taxable, so you can write it off on your taxes for your donation. So give to our e-card program to Feed the Fireman. And this fall, we're going to be feeding families. And so we have collaborated with Howard and about exercise and mental health. So Howard, talk a little bit about how long you've been had your nonprofit.
Okay, what I want to do is be able to say WYTV7 helped me kind of start it. And it was a blessing. We linked up with a different program with the city of Charlotte, and we met, and it was amazing. And they kind of just pushed me and said, get started with your nonprofit. You're going to be able to, do some balancing things with your for-profit and your nonprofit. So they helped me. I just got my articles, as a nonprofit in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I am a nonprofit. I'll be moving to the next step here in a couple of days, dealing with my 501(c)(3) with the IRS and moving to a whole new level tax bracket, because this is about serving the community in a new way. And we just need those avenues to do what I'm doing, to be able to expose the people to this diversity of sports, this diversity of connection, this diversity of building relationships in a new way. It's a need in our community. And I think it's like faces. I've been down the road. I'm also an African-American male that goes to therapy. I have a therapist that has dealt with some things and the trauma that we go through. So just living it and just not talking about it, but being about it.
That's fantastic, Howard. And so let's talk a little bit about your mission statement. Okay. WYTV7 mission is to educate, empower, and to encourage. And I was reading your mission statement, and the one thing that stood out to me, it said, dare to be like no other program. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very inspiring. So talk a little bit about that, because when you read that, immediately it makes you want to become a part of what this is. And I know that's the whole gist behind it, because with us educating, empowering, and encouraging people, that's why our listeners come back time and time after again. So tell us about what was the impact behind your mission statement.
Dare to be like no other. I think a lot of the different nonprofits and some different organizations, and no knock to them, they're doing a great work in the community. But what makes mine different is I'm going to get in the foxhole with you. I'm looking for true change. I'm not playing with your life. I'm trying to change it. And I believe we have to be right there alongside of our people, our families and our communities, and work alongside of them each and every day. Be able to have the resources or know the people that can make the connections to help the people in the community if we want true change, and being real and authentic and being able to have a story. I look at it like this. How could you tell me something that you overcame if you ain't never been in it? It's kind of hard. You get what I'm saying? And I'm going to use an analogy. If you ain't been an alcoholic, you can tell me, you can read about it, but you really don't know how to get up off of that thing because you ain't never been an alcoholic. So I have those testimonials and those times of being in the inner city or the diverse community and being able to deal with the pressures, deal with what's going on in our communities and living it. And then I can speak right to it. How did you get to that place where you at? You have to make a choice. But true change comes with long term. Many of our community people are only dealing with the short term. We're dealing with this month-to-month thing. No, how do I reach your long term? What we need to understand, to me personally, is exposure. And exposure puts you in a situation to be on an even playing field. Like you said, inclusion. Inclusion to what? If you're talking about Team USA and going to different national tournaments, junior and Olympic, it ain't too many diverse cultures there. You may have a specific culture, which is the Caucasian culture, but you may sprinkle in just a little bit. We want to expose our kids to those programs. We want to expose our families to those programs. You understand what I'm saying? Talking about swimming and kayaking, the different things that I do. We have never been there. So how do we know? And that's what it is about. And then as you get exposed to these things, then I'm going to be able to, I use a term called learning by doing. It's kind of like you ride the bike, you fall, you get back on it, you fall, you get back on it. Eventually, when you fall 5, you get on it and you never stop riding the bike. That's the long term. And that's where you want it. You have to learn by doing it. More hands-on, practical things, tangible things. I call it reaching all 5 senses. Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you touch it? Can you hear it? Oh, it's going to last. And that's where we have to teach from, the perspective. Even in our fitness, even in some of my fitness programs, I need you to do it. I need you to do it 10,000 times or more so that it sticks with you. And I'm going to be right there in the foxhole with you. I like to say this. Many people talk about at-risk kids or youth at risk. I think we're past at risk in our diverse community. We're wounded. We're hopeless. We're stringing it. We're just hanging on. So we have to approach it differently. We cannot continue to diagnose at-risk and wounded kids the same. Wounded kids is a little different, and I'm telling you, you got to get in the foxhole with them. At risk, you can kind of help them, in different ways. But the woundedness, oh no, you got to get right there next side of them and then show them again and show them again and show them again. And then you're going to see true change. And as they see you supporting them and trusting them, then there's going to be a place where long-term is going to come and then it's going to last. And that's what Heart Grinders is. That's what daring to be different is. Serving in a way that we have not normally served. You get what I'm saying? We don't know our community people, our neighbors next door. We got to get to know them again.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important, and that's where WYTV7 comes in, and we help in the community. Like I said, we've got a program going on now, Feed the Firemen.
Yeah.
And this fall, we're going to be doing Feeding Families. And it's so inspiring with your mission statement. Our executive producer, she's gotten in and she's exercising more. A couple of our board members are exercising more. Heck, I'm even riding my bicycle.
Okay.
You have inspired us, and I got my workout clothes on now. It doesn't mean I'm going to work out, but I got them on. So
I got you.
So I am. I'm very inspired by the person that you are, the energy that you possess, and that means a lot, mentally, physically, all around, the whole body, for every sense. You were talking about the 5 senses. I love that, Howard. That is so inspiring. So tell us, how do you keep your clients coming back week after week after week? I mean, what is it about you? And I know that there's positive energy. I can see it. I can feel it. But tell our listeners at WYTV7 why they should come aboard and join and get on board with Heart Grinders.
The reason why you want to partner with a guy like myself, I've been in many industries as far as working for people. And I just think they don't serve the people like they should. It's the service. It's the service, giving you A1 service at Heart Grinders, meaning I'm going to make sure you reach your goals. I'm going to be honest to you. I'm going to be real honest and authentic with you. Listen, if you don't get after it when we working out, you're not going to reach your goals. And it's not about beating you up or doing any of that or trying to rush you through the workout or rush you through archery. No, I need you to put forth the effort. I need you to be present. I need you to be positive with yourself. I need you to be encouraged. I need you to actually show up on time. Change the mode, show up on time, and do all that you need to do. And I'm gonna do the rest. It's my job to push you to the finish line as well as my person, but it's service to the clients in every avenue, from mentoring, from my archery program and my environment. with this, get in the foxhole, meaning if we are wading in the water and looking at microorganisms, I am, as the director, the founder, I'm part of the number in the water. See, sometimes we sit back and let the people, oh, you part of my group, I'm going to let you do it. No, I'm going to be right there with you. In the water, we all looking for the microorganisms. We get the water, we see it, and then we, looking through the microscope, and we start to see it, and we look at the list, and we understand, like, oh, okay, that's, and then it's good quality water, if that's one of the activities that we're doing. I shoot the bow with you. But working out, I work out with each and every one of my clients. And I take you through, I'm a hard grinder. I do it a whole nother level, but I see where you at, but then I take you to a whole nother place and know if I can get you there, part of that program. So it's service to the clients, it's service to you, and making sure that you reach your goals and and hold you accountable to what you say you want to be. If that's where you say you want to lose 40 pounds, well, this is what it's going to take. You're not going to be able to eat and do everything you once did. Sorry. Truth.
I think that's fantastic, Howard. And we would like to thank you for being a part of What's Your Story. And we'd like to invite all our WYTV7 listeners and everyone who is listening out there on our podcast and going live on Facebook. We'd like to invite them to join Hard Grinders, to become a part of the wonderful organization that you have. And we would like to invite you as WYTV7 Christian Network broadcasters to become a part of our Feeding Firemen and feeding homeless families and feeding families this fall. We would like for you to become a part of that. And how can you become a part of that? You can become a part of that by joining the WYTV7 e-card. You can give your donations to WYTV7.org. And we would like to thank you. We'd like to thank you for your donations. Any donations that you give will be greatly appreciated. And if you're enjoying these stories, ordinary people, ordinary lives, that's who we want to touch. We would like for you to join us and to share your educational, your empowering, your encouraging story. So come on and be a part of our seasons this fall. And Howard, we would like to thank you. And I'm Sharita Williams from What's Your Story, signing off. And I want everyone out there who's listening on WYTV7.org to be safe, wear your mask at all times because it is important during this pandemic. So we would like for everyone to be safe and have a good season this year. So we're signing off. Sharita Williams with What's Your Story at WYTV7.org.
Thank you, Sharita.